J.R. Miller said, "Few things we can do in this world are so well worth doing as the making of a beautiful and happy home." I hope, friends, that you are off to a good start to the new year. I feel like one of my goals for this new year was to keep January a little bit slower pace than the rest of the year. And I feel like I can kind of gauge how the year is going to go based on how January is progressing along. And I can report that this January has already been quite busy, so I'm expecting the rest of the year to follow suit. But I also am trying to hold on to and cherish these colder days at home in January, knowing that this may be about as slow as it gets this year. In my season of life, it seems that life is just speeding by faster and faster every single year. I don't know how that is even possible. So on these January days, these cold days where I'm in the house more and I'm not so much out in the garden as I will be later, I am trying to do housework, do deeper cleaning, learn some skills, and on this video I will be taking you along as I do some cleanup and also as I show you how I am entering into kind of a new era of milling my own grain and baking my own bread. I am so glad you're here today. Author Sally Clarkson said, "Today, when you nurture love and meet the needs of your beloveds with beauty, it will make a difference in how they face their whole day." I am so thankful for this vintage cottage kitchen that we built out. It took us 1.5 to 2 years to get it to the point that it is at now. And it is such a large space and everything has a place. So even when we have gatherings and a lot of people and make a huge mess, or I do a huge day of baking or what have you, it still does not feel overwhelming to put it back in order because I know everything has a place. What feels overwhelming to me is when I do not have the places to put things. Things have not been put in a designated place and there's chaos and disorder. And I really want to get the rest of my house to where it has that same feeling of peace, that everything has a place and I know I can put it back into order. I thrifted this little shelf in Ohio's Amish country and have been planning to have it hung on our pantry stone wall for so very long. Even as we were building out the kitchen, I already had it and had it planned, but because it's not the easiest thing to hang something on stone, I had to wait until there was a good time for my husband to do that project. And right after Christmas, as he had some extra days off of work, he was able to hang it. And I am so delighted to open the pantry door and to see the shelf now sitting there, and I have a cute little spot to do some decorating throughout the year. I like to check the clearance sales right after Christmas at stores like Hobby Lobby, and I found these cute little jars on clearance with little wooden lids. And so I picked them up and brought them home and took their stickers off and gave them a washing and decided they would be great for storing some wheat berries next to my grain mill. I don't know about you, but I have been a lifelong fan of Little House on the Prairie, Ma Ingalls, Laura Ingalls Wilder, all things Little House. And Laura Ingalls Wilder said, "The true way to live is to enjoy every moment as it passes, and surely it is in the everyday things around us that the beauty of life lies." Several years back, my husband gave me a grain mill for Christmas, and not long after that, we embarked on building out this new kitchen, and so the grain mill did not get used very much. And then once the kitchen was complete, I have been so busy just setting the kitchen up and getting it into working order. And I also needed a mixer for the new kitchen. It's just a little much to carry our KitchenAid mixer back and forth between the two kitchens. And so I was kind of waiting to start milling my own grain until I got a mixer for this kitchen. So for Christmas, my husband gave me a Bosch mixer for Christmas. And so I am so excited. And you will see me here in this video getting things situated. You can see that we built out this kitchen to have a grain milling station, a place where we can keep our grains, our wheat berries, dry goods, sugars, rice, things like that. And so I wanted to put some of the wheat berries in smaller containers just so that it's easier to reach for when I need to mill some grain and I do not have to go into the big buckets every time. Here I am setting up my grain mill on the counter of this milling station. Now, I love to use this sidewall here for home decor, but the original thought was for my milling station with the buckets behind the curtains. And it was so exciting to put these little canisters out here and to set up the grain mill and to unbox my Bosch mixer. And I will have links for the grain mill and the Bosch mixer in the description below. I have admired and wanted to have a Bosch mixer for so long. One of the advantages of the Bosch mixer is the very strong motor that it has, and therefore it can handle a huge amount of dough without getting bogged down and overheated. And because we have a large family, and I do like to cook in large batches, I felt this would probably be worth the investment to get the Bosch mixer. This is really a nice design. This goes on and off so you can add more flour in as it's mixing. Here is the exciting moment when I put the Bosch mixer over here at the milling station. I think as far as home decor, this time of the year feels a little bit challenging when I take all of the Christmas down and I'm ready to let my house breathe and give everything a good dusting. And yet I still want it to be pretty. This year I find myself really pressing into the white and green, especially in our cottage kitchen. And a lot of that is in the kitchen year around, and I'm especially loving it right now after Christmas. You can see the curtains that are linked below. They're from Amazon. They are the green and white stripe, and then I have some green and white dishes, and I have touches of that green and white throughout the kitchen. Here is a little knife set that I bought, I believe at TJ Maxx, a long time back. Even when we were still building out this kitchen, I bought them in anticipation of the new kitchen, and then they got kind of hidden away in a closet, and I always thought, where are those knives? And the other day I came across them. Here I am opening up the packaging, and I am enjoying these little knives. I appreciate that they have the protective plastic cover on them because being new, they are quite sharp. But it is nice to have some new sharp knives in our country kitchen. I recently found this lovely little water pitcher at a local thrift store, and I love it because it has this little tube inside where you can put cucumbers, lemons, berries, whatever you desire to make flavored water. And so I have been cutting up lemons and adding them into the pitcher, and my family has been enjoying the flavor of the lemon water, and there are many health benefits to lemon water. So I just find that it is an easy way to boost our health without taking a lot of extra time. As I was setting up the milling station, I ran across this bag of bread flour from Azure Standard, and I decided to go ahead and put that in one of my canisters so it is also easy to reach for if I'm not milling my own flour. Although I did not film the process of making the bread this time, you can see me putting the loaves of bread in the oven. Sometimes when I am either putting something in these upper little lighted cabinets or taking something out of them, I find it a convenient time to go ahead and do some dusting, because it seems like here at the farmhouse everything gets dusty. And one area I noticed when I got up there to dust this little cabinet is the little shelf that is above the stove. So I ended up dusting out this cabinet as well as the decor shelf above our stove. Over the Christmas holidays, I so enjoyed this fun little amaryllis plant. It was so fun to watch the stalks grow and blossom, and it's a no-fuss plant. You don't have to water it or do anything. And so here you see me cutting back the old flower blooms, and look here, it's starting to grow new stalks, and I expect we will have some more blossoms. How fun! A no maintenance plant with beautiful winter blooms. And here you can see my 4 loaves of homemade, delicious, nutritious bread. I'm so excited. I wanted to also show you another touch of the green and white in my kitchen right now that really pulls together with those green and white striped curtains that I have at the grain milling station. I have some green bows left over from Christmas on some of my dishes. That pie plate in the back has a green stripe, and these are thrifted green and white dishes. So I have a little bit of that going on, and I do think that fits really nicely for January. I also left up this swag of greenery from Christmas with the fairy lights, and I have the battery operated taper candles that I can link in the description for you. But that overall tied together definitely adds some warmth to my vintage kitchen during these colder winter months. This is a small detail, but even in this book, I have a nod to the green in that it has that green binding, and also a future look to spring and summer flowers to come. And so that ties into the green and white. Even the foliage here in this plant has the green leaves. I have some green plants on the windowsill above the sink, so just adding a little green here and there. And I always have a lot of cream and white dishes. There's a green bow. It's not overkill, but I think it looks really nice and calming for January. And here is a quick look around the kitchen. You can see that the decor has been scaled way back, and the kitchen is having a break from heavy decor. Probably pretty soon I will start with the Valentine's decorations. I recently went out to feed the goats and found 2 little baby goats have been born, and they are very adorable. Aww, I think you're the mama. We recently got a hard winter freeze, and so I went to the garden and picked a lot of parsley just in time before the freeze and decided to dehydrate it to have dried parsley in a jar as an herb that I can put in some of my dishes. Friends, I hope that you are enjoying these cold, slower days of January, and thank you so much for visiting me today in my cottage kitchen, and I will see you on the next video.